we assist, 60% are from Whittier. And their children are going to Whittier, they're residents of Whittier, they've been, living their whole life in Whittier. So they're not coming from other places, they're from Whittier.
Question here in the back.
Thank you. I have two questions. One for first child. You said you placed 150 families. Do you have an estimate of what that cost? Because I'm looking at, I heard a figure of almost $1 billion for 900 units. And to me, that is a huge waste of money. It's $1 million per unit. And I can almost bet those units are not more than 600 square feet per unit. They cost $1 million. If you placed 150 people, do you have an estimate what that costs? Because to me, it seems like where the money should be placed is more grassroots levels. And placing people, that's an absurd amount of money, a waste of our taxpayer money. That's not going anywhere. These people don't want to go into these fancy places. They want a grassroots, they want an apartment. Get them an apartment, get them an existing building. The cities need to work with us. The cities need to loosen up a little bit and say, look, we've got a single family resident over here, maybe we can do something. It's better than keeping them on the street. And I'm saying is we need to be more open-minded. Second question is for Dottie. I own a property across the street from St. Matthias Church, and we have addressed the church about the issue that was just brought up. We feel ignored. We want to be good neighbors. We're asking the church to be good neighbors back to us. We support the soup kitchen. We just want to be heard and say, look, once they close the doors, it's our feeling that the church says once they close the doors, not our problem anymore. So we have people sleeping on our sidewalks. We have them doing whatever they're doing to live in our neighborhood, on our streets. And we just want to be addressed and heard. Because I heard Dottie say that she felt the one man that came in and said he made her day by being recognized. Recognition. That's what we want. We just want a little recognition back from the church. That's all we're asking. We want to be good neighbors. We support you. We support the whole community. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Judy Stafford, and I'm a volunteer church practitioner around the county.
First, can we just, we're going to have Dottie just answer that question first, and then we'll come back to you.
Right. I told him, which I told him 15 minutes ago, I turned his name and his question over to my boss. I'm an employee, guys. I'm not in charge, you know what I mean? Some of the suggestions that they had was for them to have to go in the back door off of the alley. That's not going to work. They're also a church, and they now have a Montessori school, etc., etc. But so as far as being blown off, I can't help that personally. Okay, I gave him my boss's cell phone. What else can I do as far as that? But I feel like when the soup hour closes at 4:00, people go where they go. Some of them go home. Some of them go to the park, the library. Some of them hang out and do what they do. If we weren't there, there would still be people. And then they would not only be out there, they'd be hungry and out there, and more angry maybe and out there. So I don't know, if you have an answer, we got to get some help.
You know, in the Bible it says the poor you will always have with you. So they aren't going to disappear. We need to, as a community, know how to work with them and how to change anything in their life that we can that can be helpful. But I think a good component to add to the soup kitchen is mental health, or that component of services. Where can we help you? So while they're eating, if other agencies would have a representative there, maybe those numbers would decrease. We all need to step up. We can't complain. We need to step up.
Oh, man. We'll let you. Here's a microphone. It's gonna be hard because we're by the speaker.
Did I move? I'm Judy Stockman, and I'm a volunteer nurse practitioner with several agencies in town, one of them being St. Matthias. To answer empirically and strictly as a volunteer, I have no stake in anything here. It's my experience that probably 80% of the people that at least I see that are new, and I see 3 or 4 new folks a week, that they're in Whittier because that's their connection. Some guy came from Arizona last week. I saw, I said, why did you come here? Well, my dad lives here. So almost everybody I know of has that connection. That's one thing. And I have 2 questions. One for Salvation Army. I don't know something as basic as when are your showers open for people? Are they open 5 days a week?
5 days a week. They come at 9 o'clock and until everybody's done, that's when we close.
So they're open 9 to 11 or 9 to?
9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, they're done.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the gates open at 9, and if you ain't there by 9:02, you ain't getting a shower. Yeah, it can be a stinky problem.
My second question is for Vanessa. And if I were to refer somebody, say next week I see somebody who's a parent and a child, single or both parents and a child, how long would it take you to at least get them in and interview them? I mean, I'm trying to see how we can fill in the gaps.
Right, if you're talking about shower programs, they just come right over.
I know that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, thank you. That's good.
Well, because of contracts, I mean, if a family's immediately homeless and living in their car, we're gonna address the issue immediately. But depending, we're gonna assess the client. If they say, we're gonna be at my aunt's house for 5 days, we need to assess and figure out what game plan is. We can't control that. Our contractors are the ones that control what needs to be in place before we can provide assistance. But we try to help clients, through those barriers and try to help them so we can, assist them the fastest that we can. Because we know that they're in immediate need.
In order to fill in the gaps, how long does it take you? I'm just asking so if we want to fill in gaps.
Yeah, like is it a 2-week process? It just depended on the
It
situation.
depends on the situation that the client is in.
Okay. We
Okay,
got,
let's say that family that Drew mentioned, whom I tried to refer, sorry Vanessa, the man whose wife had left, she's a drug addict apparently, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, 10-month-old, no car. I was told the next interview date was 3 weeks hence.
So it just depends. I don't know what was said. But as you know, there's no crisis housing for our contract. So if we have a contract that has 15 beds and our 15 beds are full, it's out of our control. We try to contact our partner and say, hey, we have this situation. Can you please help us? It gets very difficult. The need is great. I do understand we get about 100 calls a day of families seeking assistance. But we try to get creative, we try to get, in contact with our partners so we can help our families. Nobody wants to see a child on the street. I know where you're coming from, Dottie, because I see it every day.
right. Thank you. Last question, just for time's sake, right here.
I'd like to take that story a little bit further about the family of 4, with the 4-year-old, the 2-year-old, and the 10-month-old. My name is Richard Balkus, and I'm from St. Bernard's Church. I'm a member of the St. Vincent de Paul Society. I also serve with Dottie on the board for the Whittier Area Interfaith Council. That Thursday afternoon, Dottie, because of our connection, she made the call to me to try to help that family, okay? And this just goes to show you the critical need for emergency housing for families in the city of Whittier. My wife Darlene and another Vincentian, we interviewed the father that afternoon. We started calling local motels, and I'm not talking about upscale motels. I'm talking about the motels, a lot of them you see on Whittier Boulevard. Once we said we're from St. Bernard's, they knew who we're trying to help. Persons, Rita, that are homeless. okay? They don't want us. They don't want to accommodate us. We ended up finding a motel for this family in the harbor. There is a critical need for emergency housing. If we weren't there that Thursday afternoon, and he actually had wheeled the 10-month-old and his 2 sons about 2 miles from where he was dropped off to get to us, I don't know what would have happened to him that night. And he was receiving county assistance. He lost his card, and that's what triggered the homeless issue for him that particular day, not being able to go into some cheap motel, okay? Again, it started with a referral from Whole Child, St. Matthias, but it's ended up with us. And I gotta tell you, just one little plug here, because we have Los Angeles County Department of Mental Services with us, and somebody mentioned about getting training and counseling in terms of how to serve people with mental health. They have a whole curriculum, and we've had them over at St. Bruno's, and they do a great job helping us understand the problems with people with mental illness, helping, because we are often on the front line here making those contacts with them. And so I suggest contacting them, because they will come out and they will do training for you.
You're right, that is the issue. We've tried to contact several hotels and motels in the area, and they don't want to do business with us. There's a stigma behind, if you're homeless, you are a problem. They don't want you there. I think me and my partner and CEO Shirley Dimas Panado, we went out to, I believe, over 25 motels, and everybody shut the door on us.
We do need emergency to keep the children safe until Vanessa and her colleagues can truly help them.
Well, thank you for bringing that to light, and that's something that we as a community need to address and find out a way to fix. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for your services to the